Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Battle for Azeroth video. Today we're going to be talking about a class that I actually play pretty often on live. I've got a 964 or so Marksman Hunter, and that is going to be the Marksman Hunter class, and pretty much how it's been completely reworked on the Battle for Azeroth Alpha. You're going to see a lot of like the same names of abilities, but pretty much all of the abilities you use on the regular are different. And I want to go over like how this class is shaping up on the alpha, and of course this is just the alpha. Things can be changed, things can be, completely different whenever the game actually launches, but I think it's fun to walk you through exactly what's going on currently and how the class is shaping up and moving into the next expansion. Okay, so as you can see, we are actually on the Marksman Hunter on the alpha right now, and I've had some time to play with this. I've had some time to test through the talents and the abilities and walk through pretty much everything that is going on with this class, and understand it to a core and see how Blizzard has expected you to play this class moving forward, right? So I'm basically going to read through the baseline abilities just like I always do with all my classes, and then I'm going to walk through the talents a little bit. I'm not going to focus on numbers, and I'm not going to focus on abilities that are the exact same in Legion. So if I don't mention the ability, pretty much understand that it's likely going to be the exact same from Legion into Battle for Azeroth, okay? All right, so I'm going to talk about the main 4 abilities that do damage, or actually even 5 abilities that do damage as a Marksman Hunter, okay? So we're just going to go through it. The very first one, the most important one, is going to be Aim Shot. This is the main spender ability that does the most amount of damage that your class does. It's the ability that you're going to want to be casting as much as possible. And how it works now is it's actually 2 charges, a maximum of 2 charges with a 12-second recharge that does not increase with haste. And then it casts 2.65 second cast time, and it costs 50 focus, and now you have 100 focus total. Okay, so you basically can only cast 2 of these, and it's going to recharge slowly. Okay, and the entirety of this spec revolves around this ability. All right. And then we have Quick Shot, which is a brand new ability in Battle for Azeroth, and it costs 15 focus, and it's a quick shot that causes a certain amount of physical damage, like a medium amount. And it's an instant cast. Okay, so you don't actually have to cast this. Steady Shot has returned in Battle for Azeroth, and how it works is it counts as a builder now. It generates 10 focus, and it is usable while moving. So you're going to be able to do a little bit more movement as a Marksman Hunter, whereas last expansion you had no movement while casting at all, except for like your instant cast with Mark Shot, right? And then we have a brand new ability called Rapid Fire, and this one's pretty cool. This is a usable while moving ability as well. It is also a builder, and how it works is very similar to Barrage. I'll show you on this target dummy, whatever, Raven right now. It just does a rapid fire of arrows at the target, and every single time it hits a target, it will actually generate 3 focus. So that means, say it's going to be doing a shot every 0.3 seconds for 4 seconds. That's like what? I don't know, 12 or 13 shots. So that means it's going to generate anywhere between 30 and 40 focus whenever you use this, and it has a 20-second cooldown, but it is also channeled. So that means while you are casting Rapid Fire, you are not going to be able to cast any other ability. Okay, so this is going to be your main, very high value builder ability, better than Steady Shot, but has a 20-second cooldown. All right. They've changed True Shot in a way that increases all damage done by 20%, 3-minute cooldown, very flat ability. And then Multi-Shot is a little bit different. It does a little bit more damage than it used to in Legion, but it costs 25 focus. Okay, and we're going to be talking about Multi-Shot and True Shot a lot at the end of the video when I talk about my overall opinion of this class. I'm going to talk about a couple passives real quick, and then we'll dive into the talents. So this spec is really revolved around empowering your aim shot based on what you do. And it's also very AoE focused. So the first one is going to be called Lethal Shots. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's a talent, not that one. Trick Shots, that's what I was talking about. When multi-shot hits 2 or more targets, your next aim shot will ricochet and hit up to 5 additional targets. So that means you're going to be aim shotting several different targets whenever you cast multi-shot first. And then, or each shot of your rapid fire will ricochet to an enemy target as well. I don't actually know if Trick Shot means that when you fire rapid fire, you know what, let's test it real quick. If you fire rapid fire and it says each shot is going to generate a certain amount of focus, so we're going to use multi-shot, get down to no focus at all, and then I'm going to hit rapid fire, and as you can see, it actually does increase your focus by a pretty heavy amount. So I think that's good to know, because whenever you're using a trick shot, Obviously, that means you're going to get more value out of, sorry, I'm aggroing a little bit of extra mobs. You're going to get more value out of actually using trick shot and then rapid fire, which means you're going to have a lot more, I guess, capabilities throughout AoE fights, whereas single target fights feel a little bit more boring. And they've also packed in the lone wolf mechanic into the marksman spec. Okay, so Blizzard has said time and time again that they do not want marksman hunters to have pets, but they will give you the option to do it. How this works is that you can actually just summon your pet throughout the entirety of the expansion without any talent, like Lone Wolf was last expansion. They built it baseline in the spec so that if you don't have a pet, you're going to get more damage. If you do have a pet, and if you want to play with the pet for whatever reason and have less damage, then you can do that. It's just not going to be very rewarding for that spec. Okay. So that's pretty much all the baseline abilities I want to talk about. And then now we're going to get into the talents and the ones that are important and the ones that are different. I'm not going to be talking about the talents that are the exact same in Legion. The very first one is going to be called Careful Aim, and Aim Shot has a chance to do 200% increased damage to targets who are above 80% health or below 20% health. So this gives you, like, it's kind of like Firestarter and an Execute combined. It's only a chance to get 200% bonus damage. I don't know what that chance quite is, but it is very nice. I think that this is a really strong talent, and also it's very synergistic with Aim Shot's current baseline abilities as well, because Aim Shot, how it works is that when you damage a target that you have not yet damaged, no auto attacks, no rapid fires, no quick shots on a target for the very first time, you actually do 50% increased damage. So maybe your first aim shot on a boss, for example, every time you pull, if you have Careful Aim and use Aim Shot first, you can actually do upwards of, like, you know, a huge number, like a huge big aim shot to start off with, which is pretty cool. And you also have an aim shot built, or a Execute built into it, which is very cool as well. We have Precise Shots, and this means that every time you use your aim shot, your next 1 to 2 quick shots will consume 100% less focus. That makes quick shot a lot more valuable in the rotation, because I feel like without this talent, you never really use quick shot, since quick shot costs 15 focus, and you want to have as much focus as possible for your aim shot charges. So that's why I chose Precise Shots. I think that it does allow quick shot to be a little bit more in the rotation and gives you something to do whenever your aim shot isn't on cooldown, but you don't want to spend focus, right? So that's why I chose that. And then we have Bombardment. Multi-shot critical strikes generate 3 focus. I think this is good because multi-shot actually costs so much focus right now. So if you're playing in Mythic Plus dungeons and you're killing 7 targets in a trash pack or something like that, multi-shot has a chance at basically giving you 21 focus, and I think that that's pretty good. It's like a little refund policy on your multi-shot, and I think that's cool. And then we have Volley, which has been completely changed. When you cast multi-shot, you have a chance to cause a volley of arrows to rain down on all targets hit by multi-shot, dealing 305 physical damage to each enemy hit. Okay, so it's basically the same thing, but it's a passive now. I kind of liked having that active ability. Like, you have to turn it off. If you didn't turn it off, if you weren't good enough to remember to turn off volley, then you would actually have to you would, like, lose value on your focus. I thought it was cool to have an active ability, but now they've made it passive. I don't personally agree with making abilities passive. I think the more active abilities you have, even if you're able to cast it while casting aim shot, for example, I think that that's cool, a cool mechanic, and that's something that I would like to see. But that is just how it is now. We have Swift Wind, which is really, really cool, actually. Every time you cast an aim shot, it reduces the cooldown aspect of the cheetah by 10 seconds per cast. So, that means that you can have aspect of the cheetah on like a 1.5 minute cooldown, like 90 seconds or 120 seconds based on how many aim shots you're able to cast. But it does allow for a lot more mobility as a hunter. A lot of hunter specs, I think all of them actually have this new talent called Trailblazer, where your movement speed is increased by 30% anytime you have not been attacked for 30 seconds, or for 3 seconds. And that also gives a lot of mobility. And then you have Camouflage, which is a little bit changed. It means that you heal for 2% every 1 second while you are camouflaged. So maybe that's useful in PvP situations if you're able to disengage from a team. You can get that extra healing while stealth, and I think that's cool. But overall, I would choose Swift Wind. We have Streamlined, which rapid fire lasts an additional 2 seconds. That means you're going to be getting more focus. You're going to be doing more AoE damage if you can combine that with trick shots. And it's definitely an interesting one for sure. And that's why I chose it, because I think that getting that extra focus is really valuable. Steady Focus, which is probably going to be more of these single target, I guess the more of the single target choice, and using steady shot reduces the cast time by steady shot by 0.25 seconds. So that means you're going to get faster steady shots, more focus out of it, up to 4 times, which is really great because that reduces the steady shot cast time by 1 second entirely, which means you have a 0.7 second cast on your builder ability, which means you're going to get a lot of focus out of that really quickly. But using any other shot removes that effect. And then we have Hunter's Mark, which I think is actually kind of a boring talent. Increases all the damage you deal to the mark target by 5%. You can only put it on one target, and if you kill the target, then you gain 20 focus. I think that just an ability that increases your damage by 5% on a target is kind of boring. There's really no gameplay mechanic in that except for you have to like put it up, and I just think that it could be better for sure, but that's what the talent is right now. We have Natural Mending. Exhilaration heals you for 20% of your maximum health over 10 seconds. And you actually have to choose between Post Haste and Binding Shot for this. So it's interesting that you actually have to choose Survivability from Mobility from CC. So very interesting tier here. And I'm curious why the philosophy was built that way. Like why you have to choose between Mobility and CC. Or, you know, you could be more tanky. Or you could have more CC. I just think that's interesting. And then we have Lethal Shots, which is brand new. Trick Shot also increases the damage of your next aim shot by 25%, or Rapid Fire by 25%. Rapid Killing. Each target that aim shot hits from the Trick Shot reduces the cooldown of aim shot by 1 second. I think this is really cool in theory because it also reduces the cooldown of Rapid Fire. Because I think that this is a cool talent because if you're fighting a lot of mobs, and you hit like multi-shot and get a trick shot aim shot off there, then that means you're going to reduce the cooldown of your aim shot and also reduce the cooldown of your strongest rapid fire, like your strongest builder, and also one of your strongest AoE abilities. I think that this is going to be probably the main AoE fight, you know, Mythic Plus talent to take. It could even be good against like Demo Locks, for example. I think that there's a lot of value in this talent. I think it's a pretty well designed one because it like speeds up your rotation, and I think that's cool. I like that. I like seeing things that speed up your rotation, give you more options, and if you play well, if you're good at managing this talent, then that means you're going to get more value out of your class, and I think that that's a great design. We have Calling the Shots, which is pretty much the Marksman Hunter legendary boots built into the class. Casting Quick Shot reduces the cooldown of True Shot by 3 seconds every time you use it. So that, I mean, maybe with like precise shots, having, you know, 1 to 2 free quick shots every time you aim shot, combined with this makes that you're going to get a lot of true shots out of there for basically no focus at all. And I think that that's really cool. We also have Lock and Load in the final tier now, which means that you're going to, it's the exact same. It's just that it's in the final tier, and that means you have to choose between getting more trick shots or getting more aim shots for free. And I think that's cool. And there's also Piercing Shot, but, you know, pretty much no one ever really uses this. And then that's pretty much it for the talents, guys. Now I want to talk about the overall class philosophy and talk about the things I like and the things that I don't like, okay? I really like the trick shot mechanic. I think that the trick shot mechanic, whenever you have this window, it's like the new vulnerability, but it's really focused on AoE. And this whole class is focused on AoE, which is a really interesting point, is that like this class, I can't see this class I don't know the numbers obviously, but I can't see this class thriving in single target situations, but AoE situations, I definitely see it thriving. I mean, it feels like this class was really built for it. I like that the class was really built around AoE. It kind of like focuses it on that, and maybe you have to play BM or survival for more single target damage. I don't necessarily like that aim shot is such a long cast though. Like it's really, really long cast, and I can't really foresee you being able to use aim shot in a PvP situation. I mean, imagine if there was like a Warrior DK TSG team on you and you had to cast a 2.6 second aim shot at that target. Like you would never get those casts off. And this brings me to my next point, is because like you in Legion, you had True Shot, which would increase your haste by a really high amount. It would make your aim shots really fast, and it would make a lot of your abilities like empowered in a way. I think the fact that they've actually changed True Shot to be increases all damage done by 20%, and that's it. Like I see this as a very like disappointing change in Battle for Azeroth. I'm not a fan of changing talents that increase your actions per minute and make you feel like you're very empowered and that you've unlocked like a better version of your spec whenever you press this ability and have that moment. I'm not a fan of dumbing that down and making it so that you just have increased damage. Like, I think increased damage doesn't change the way you're playing the spec at all. It doesn't, like, it literally just gives you a moment where you're just doing more damage, and that's it. I would much rather see a true shot ability like, you know, reduces the cast time of your aim shot by half. Also, it reduces the recharge rate of aim shot by half. I think that would make this spec a lot different. And I think that having your abilities be more focused on giving you more to do with your class, and if you do more, then you do more damage. I think that's much better of a design philosophy as opposed to just like this flat out damage buff that doesn't change the way you play your class at all. That's just my opinion. And the fact that multi-shot actually costs 25 focus is another worry for me, because I get why it costs focus. Like, I do. I understand that multi-shot combining with trick shots and actually make it so that your rapid fire will be able to, you know, hit all those different targets, and then combining that with rapid killing. Like, I see the value in it. I see why it costs 25 focus. I really enjoyed when I played Marksman Hunter. I really enjoyed the fact that I could actually decide in my head what builder would, like, what ability would gain me the most focus and allow me to do more aim shots and do more damage. Okay, so the reason for that is because, like, with Arcane Shot and Legion, it would generate a certain amount of focus, but if there were a certain amount of targets and I used multi-shot, it was actually better to use multi-shot because I would gain more focus out of that. And having that decision is really important to me, because in Battle for Azeroth, it seems very methodical, and I don't know if Marksman Hunter should be methodical. In a way that, like, literally you press aim shot when it's off cooldown. You can press quick shot whenever you have the free charges, and outside of that, like, once you don't have any more aim shots, you press rapid fire. Okay, and rapid fire is on cooldown, so all you could do is steady shot, and then, like, eventually you aim shot again. It just seems like it's very slow paced right now on the alpha, and I don't know if this class design is done, but if this is the final class design, I would definitely hope that there are changes at least being talked about within the Blizzard HQ, because you know, playing Marksman Hunter for so long and seeing it in arena and thinking it was really cool, I think that this spec overall has definitely been dumbed down in a lot of ways. And honestly, like, with Legion Marksman, it really wasn't that hard in the first place. Like, I picked it up in a day and learned it, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that the Marksman Hunter wasn't that crazy difficult either. So seeing it go from that to even, like, more simple is kind of a disappointment in my eyes. I hope to see, like, maybe aim shot doing less damage but getting, like, a reduced cast time, because a lot of this spec is entirely, like, check this out. I know that the numbers don't really matter right now, but like I can do with my aim shot, boom, I did like 3,000 damage. If I hit steady shot, I do 188, right? And I know the numbers aren't tuned, but, like, I'm just saying, I'm just, like, voicing my worries that hopefully there is not going to be such a front-loaded amount of damage on your aim shot, similar to how Legion was, because that's not what I don't think hunters want that again, where, like, aim shot is the only ability that does damage. I hope that they do kind of diversify that in a way that, like, rapid fire does better damage in AoE fights. You know, steady shot is your main builder, and that doesn't have to do a whole lot of damage, but somehow there's a mechanic with quick shot that would allow you to do more damage than aim shot, so that you could spend, like, it's a spender ability. Like, it should have some kind of empowerment that does more damage than aim shot. Otherwise, quick shot will never be used unless you're using the talent precise shots, right? Which gives it so that you don't actually consume focus. I don't ever see people using quick shot, like, ever, unless you somehow don't have charges with your aim shot. But even with, like, rapid killing, or, like, how long it takes for you to get 50 focus in order to use an aim shot, I just can't ever see people using quick shot, like, ever. And that means to me that the ability has a problem. I think that, like, quick shots that have some kind of mechanic in there that's more than just spend 15 focus, do a small amount of damage, like, there should be something in there that takes it a level deeper than that. Just my opinion. But regardless, guys, I'm going to stop talking so that I can actually let you guys see the spec as well. What we're going to do is play a couple minutes of leveling footage, just killing some mobs, and then I will see you at the end of the video.
don't have a target. I need a target.
Alright guys, that does sum it up for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to give a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment down below with what your thoughts are on the Marksman Hunter, and I would definitely be reading them and make a more polished video whenever the alpha continues into the beta, and the later stages of the beta is when I'll be doing more of like focused stuff on the classes, since that'll be more of their final form before they come out and release. But regardless guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day.